So I got up this morning and I got ready for get my gym clothes on. I'm gonna go work out for my morning workout that I do. And it's looking like it might be a stormy day. Don't they say red sky by morning, sailors take warning? In the east where the sun's coming up, it's kind of a reddish color, and I think we're kind of getting in a rain pattern here in my area where I live. Um, anyway, gonna start the day out going to the gym and getting my workout in, and we'll see how it goes. Hi, I'm back from having my workout at the gym. Um, this morning I was on a treadmill. I was just doing my walking, and as I was sitting there, I saw a young lady come in, and she kind of caught my eye because she dresses like my oldest daughter does, which is just really cute little little skirt and little top, and so I was watching her a little bit because she was just directly in front of me, and as she started doing the rowing machine, and her arms were so thin, and I kind of got me to thinking about eating disorders, and I worry a lot about that. My sometimes my kids struggle a little bit with trying to eat enough during the day, and you know it just worries me, and I just think about we need to love ourselves. We need to love ourselves enough to where we take good care of our bodies, take good care of with exercising and eating right. I worry about that with my children. I worry about that with my husband and with myself. And for me, it's one of the ways I combat sadness and depression in my life. There were times just even a few months ago where I wasn't regularly exercising every day, and I was more depressed, and that's not a good place to be. I think God would have us take care of our bodies because our bodies are a gift from God, and we can take care of our bodies. That makes him happy, and it makes us happy too. We do have agency. We can do whatever we like to take care of our bodies, and it's hard. I understand it's hard sometimes. Sometimes we have an illness and we're not able to exercise, and we struggle with eating properly, but we got to strive and do the best we can, because it's a good thing to be healthy and to eat right and to exercise and take care of ourselves. And I just think that's really important. Well, back home from the gym. I was driving home, and I was passing by these little kids that were waiting for the school bus, and they had the little backpacks on, and they were lining up waiting for the school bus to come by to take them to school. And I love seeing little kids out in the neighborhood. I love little children. I have a strong love for them. And I love my 6 children. I'm grateful I have my 6 children in my life, and they're all kind of growing up more now, though they're not as little as they used to be. I'm grateful I was able to homeschool them for a short time. That was real enjoyable to me. In 2018, I pulled them all out of public school, and I tried out homeschooling with them, and I think that was a really good thing, especially because when 2020 came, there was the pandemic, and then we were already in the routine of doing homeschool with them, and I was really grateful that we didn't have this major transition going on for our family. And then I homeschooled them for a couple years more after that, and then it just came to the time where I just couldn't do it anymore. So we had them doing online school, and that's worked out pretty well, especially for my youngest 2, because they've got ADHD, and so that helped for them to have online school. We still had kind of a struggle with trying to get them through my youngest daughter, those last couple of years. I wasn't aware that she had ADHD, so but we got through it. And then my youngest son, he really struggled a lot with some subjects, and we got him some academic testing, and he's got an IEP, and so everything's good with that. So I am grateful for what I learned and what I was able to enjoy spending time with them for homeschool. It kind of breaks my heart now that I can't homeschool them, but you got to see what your kids' needs are and what you're able to handle doing. And that's just, there was a time that it was good to do it, and then there was a time that it was good to not do it anymore. And my youngest child does online school, and he enjoys that. And we've got a good system working out with him, with his teachers, with what he needs for his classes and how he needs to study, and it's all good. It's working out. Today is the first day of school for him, and so we'll see how things go this school year. It was a pretty positive experience last year. The year before, we had some major struggles, and but I'm just grateful that there's resources out there for my children, and there's all kinds of different ways to teach your kids schooling. And some people, it's good to homeschool. Some people, it's better to just have more of a structure with other things. And there's all kinds of different options and things out there, and every child has different needs. And I'm grateful that there's all kinds of options today for what kids need. So I'm going to go in and get my day started, have my shower, get my breakfast, and we'll take it from there. Yeah, a little friend in the bathroom here with me. You think you need to be in here while I'm showering, huh? Yeah. So as you can see, I don't blow dry my hair. I just let it air dry. So in the morning hours, it's just wet. My hair has been falling out more lately, and my hair's always been like thin, starting from the time around my mid-20s. It's been falling out, and it's just kind of sad to me. I've done what I can to make it stay and grow more, but just the older I get, the more and more it falls out, and I'm in a period where it's just falling out more. So just get really thin through here, and I guess I just inherited that tendency from my ancestors, my women ancestors. So anyway, so I'm out here outside, and in the mornings I like to read my Bible. I've got my Bible here, and I'm going to read a few chapters. This is what I do in the later part of the morning. I had a goal at the beginning of the summer that through June, July, and August, a 90-day goal that I'm going to read the whole Old Testament. And it's been a real challenge. I read 10 to 12 chapters a day, and it's been a real challenge, but I've gained a lot of knowledge from reading the scriptures and reading the Old Testament and learning more about the people of Israel and the things that they've done and been through and things like that. So it's been real enjoyable for me to read God's Word and to learn more about what His covenants were with people in the Old Testament. And it's really increased my knowledge of the gospel, and I really enjoy doing that. So that's what I do in the morning. I read the Old Testament, and I come outside, and it's warm, and there's the sun, the fresh air, and it just gives a positive upliftment to my day. So today my reading is, I'm going to be reading Nahum, from the book of Nahum to the book of Haggai. And I'm almost done. I'm almost done with this goal. It's the end of August, and I'm getting there, and we're going to get it done. So something I wanted to mention about reading the Old Testament, it can be kind of hard to understand. And so as I read it, I'll read like one chapter, and then I'll go to Google and I'll look up what does, for instance, what does Habakkuk chapter 1 mean? And it'll give me a good summary and description. I'll read that chapter first in the Bible, and then if I don't understand really what it's talking about, I'll read that, I'll Google it, and I'll read it on Google what the summary is, and it kind of gives me more context and background on what the chapter is about. And then I also have a book, it's actually 2 volumes of a book. It's called Verse by Verse, and it gives more of a perspective from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Their authors are from that church, and it's the church I belong to. and they give more of a perspective, what an LDS perspective would be on what that chapter means. They don't talk about every chapter in those books, which is why I like to Google them, what the chapter means. But it's given me a lot of understanding, and so I look at those resources too, so I can understand what's going on in the Old Testament, and that's been very, very educational, and I really enjoy that. And I feel the Spirit of God when I read God's Word. It gives me comfort, it gives me peace, and it's really been uplifting for my day. And reading the Scriptures, it helps me to overcome the sadness, depression I tend to have in my life, and I'm really grateful for that. And sitting here outside reading, sometimes I hear planes going by overhead, and that makes me feel good because when I was young, I used to visit my grandparents, and they lived near Hill Air Force Base, and I was always hearing the airplanes and jets go by. So whenever I hear an airplane go by like that, or an airplane with jets flying over, it reminds me of my grandparents and the happy times that I had playing at their house. And so that's another reason why I like to come outside and just, relax and listen to the sounds going on in my community. Anyway, so that's what I do. So I didn't get all my chapters read for today yet. I've read about 4 chapters, and I've got 6 more chapters to go that I didn't read yet. So I'm going to read those as the day progresses, in between all the things that I've got to get done. The next thing I need to go in my kitchen and get it cleaned up, and then going to have morning prayer with my family, just with the children. They're late risers, and so we have late morning prayer for the family. We do family morning prayer, and so let's get to that point. I had the neighbor's cat come into my yard while I was reading. This is the first morning that I've seen her come in here, and I won't put her on camera because she belongs to somebody else. But she kind of walks around the neighborhood sometimes, and she likes to come to our yard and explore around, and it's kind of fun to see her out there. My cats are indoor cats. I don't ever let them go outside because I just feel like they're safer indoors. But neighbor's cat comes to our yard, and I kind of like to think of it as she keeps, mice and other things away from our yard, and kind of takes care of us a little bit that way. And it's kind of fun to see her walking around and exploring around and see things. And I really love cats, and I love pets. I love dogs too. I just can't handle living with a dog, but I love cats, and a lot of pets around here. It seems like every neighbor around here has at least a dog, and then some have cats too. And we're just cat people. We like cats. So yeah, go from that point. Okay, something that I wanted to mention in my Bible reading to help me understand the scriptures better is I also look at the Bible dictionary that is in the Gospel Library app. And that's free to anyone. If you want the Gospel Library app on your phone, it's an app that's from my church, but anyone can have access to it. It's free. And I like to read that to help me increase my knowledge and understanding of what I read in the Bible. And it's awesome.
Cinnamon, eating your food. Yeah. You got hungry.
So we're at the point of my day now where I need to write down the things that need to be gotten done before the day's over. And I usually keep a list of that in a document that I have. I call it my weekly planner, but it's kind of just a loose place where I just write down things that need to be done. I type it out, and then I write down in my notebook so I can actually see it and mark it off as the day progresses. I keep appointments and stuff in Google Calendar. That's more for appointments for with doctor's offices, or meeting with teachers with the school year or whatever is going on. So I just got myself a simple notebook here and a pen, and I just write down the date. So today's August 26th, and it's Tuesday, or no, it's not Tuesday, it's Wednesday. So I write that down, and Then I'll just write down timed stuff, things that I need to be on time for. So today we've got an appointment I need to take my daughter to. So that's at 2 o'clock. We're going to take care of that. And it's the only thing that's really, on a time-sensitive place for today. And then I'll just, write down to do, and I'll just make a list of tasks that need done, laundry, dishes. And then different days of the week I have planned out, different things that I do on different days of the week. So today I'm going to get groceries. And so I'm going to plan out groceries and make a list of that. And I just want to tell you about this book that I like. It's called Be a Plant-Based Woman Warrior. And I have tried out a few recipes in this book, and every recipe so far that I've tried out has just been so delicious. And so I'm going to plan out a couple of recipes from here. I'm going to plan out my groceries from a couple of recipes that I want to try from here. And then I'm just going to write down different other things that I get at the store for the week. And we get most of our groceries from Costco. And then I get, and then some from Walmart. And then I like to go to a local grocery store here close by and get fresh produce because it's really yummy there. And they have the best produce from around here, so I'm going to go there. And that's how my day looks at this point. She shadows me all day long. Are you just shadow mom, huh? Yeah, I'm her person. She shadows me. And she just makes herself known and has to have attention, constant. So that's what my morning looks like. I go to the gym in the morning, I exercise, then I come home, start my day, read the Bible, and then just do a little bit of housework. And then I plan out my day and get that day started. And then I usually eat lunch around 11 because I get hungry at an earlier time for lunch. So I'm going to go get that put together. And just want to show you guys what my life looks like. Okay, thanks for spending time with me today. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you next time.